Hello, everybody. Welcome to BleuMondaze. We're doing another podcast today. Today I'm blessed to be here with Miss Selby and Mr. Connor Helm. This gentleman came down about a month and a half, 2 months ago, right? And played some guitar through this home-built guitar that you have here. And I think we were all kind of shocked on what came out of this man as a musician. And so I wanted to talk to him and want to see what he has to say, where he's been, where he's going, and who he's played with and stuff. And here at Down Home Blues Club, Oklahoma Blues Hall of Fame, where I'm operated and owned by Miss Selby here. And so we're honored to be here. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Connor Helm. I come out of Perkins, Oklahoma, just a little bit outside of Stillwater. I grew up around music. I mean, it's been in my life. My parents met in a church choir. My grandpa, some of his earliest memories were with music, and his dad. And of course, growing up, I'd always listen to music, and I'd sing. And since I used to be about 1 or 2 years old, just real tiny, I could be able to sing entire songs just because I love music. And so whenever I got the chance to jump into it, learn stuff, I do it. And I think blues and jazz music was really what clicked with me, because it was the one type of music that, compared to every other style I could play, it's the type of music that you could play it, but you could feel it.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't matter if you were playing it or if you were listening to it. It was an emotion, and you would receive it.
That's one thing I've learned throughout my years. You can hear people play music, and then you can hear people feel music. There's a big difference. It took me a while to really see it. Even looking back on some of the things I've played, I can look at videos and go, oh, that's cool, I was playing that all right. And I could watch some videos that I've done with it. Oh, I was feeling it there. I can see the difference. I've seen a lot of bands out on different stages and all different kinds of music. And you can even see it. You can see when you're just playing it, or when you feel it. Just letting it out. That's one thing about the blues that I've always liked. I grew up with Stevie Ray and Hendrix and stuff. To me, Stevie Ray, he felt it like Hendrix. You could see him on the stage, and he would just be throwing his emotion out there through those hands and strings, and it just became one instrument. That's what turned me on. So really
He had like a wall of sound to me.
Oh, yeah.
Steve.
He was a wall.
DC used to say his brother was a better guitar player, but Stevie got famous because of what you're talking about. He
Yeah.
had a complete wall of sound, and he was comfortable with it, and you could feel what he was doing,
Yeah,
even
I
though
like
he's
it.
hiding.
I like
It's hardest to see too many pictures of his whole face, you
I
know.
like the Fabulous Thunderbirds. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy Vaughn's a great musician, but I don't know. I kind of think Stevie Ray. But maybe I've just seen Stevie Ray play
Stevie
more.
Ray was a very popular man. I mean, he had a huge career in a short time.
Who are your influences in your music?
Well, when I got started out, the first handful of people that really stuck with me in terms of blues music were B.B. King, Buddy Guy, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and then I had like Howlin' Wolf, and then there was the older type where it would go to like Booker White, Charlie Patton, Robert Johnson, Son House. You know, the type of music that is simple, and it doesn't have to have a lot to it. It doesn't have to be too complicated for us to where Stevie, you know, he would always get so popular, and especially this is one thing that Eric Clapton said. He said Stevie was the type of musician that he could play, but he wouldn't stop to think about what his next move was. It just was there already. He said there was a non-stop flow of just music. And I think those types of music, where it's just non-stop flow, that's when you can tell it's all.
Oh, yeah.
And there's the other ones where they stop and think about it, or that sometimes you don't get as much, but it's still powerful.
Yeah.
And I love writing songs, especially. That's one of my favorite things to do. Is I love to write songs, and I love it when I can hear a song, or when I can play a song that I write something down that at the time doesn't mean anything, but I play it and then I'll think about what I just said, and I'll be like, that's happened.
When you write, you stop and write down what's your lyrics and then try to process, build off of a certain set, or do you just try to keep it memorized?
I haven't been too great at memorizing that.
Fair enough.
What I've been mainly doing is I'll think of a certain set of rhymes, and there'll be times where I think of a line, just one line, but it could mean something, and it could be just sounding kind of cool. And so I'll have that line memorized, and sometimes I'll build a song with that one single line.
Hook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what I'll do is a lot of times I'll have just like a simple, just like 12-bar stuff, because there's a lot of people that go and they go make it full. And it's just that 3-chord, easy, but you can do so much.
Oh yeah.
And there's so many different styles, and I think one of the things that's been kind of crazy to me recently in terms of music and learning how things work with writing and everything is how just a single chord change can just entirely change the mood of the song.
Oh yeah.
Because it'll change your feeling, your emotion as you're hearing it. I mean, you could hear just like a major chord, and then it'll make you feel happy, make you feel strong, make you feel whatever the song's talking about, But then if it's just like a minor chord, it'll hit you.
A lot of feeling in your body.
It's like I keep my acoustic usually in open D2. I like the open D2. I mean, it's a lot of Appalachian American type folky bluegrassy type stuff. I learned of it from Allman Brothers' song "Little Martin." That was the first open D2 that I've heard, and it's nice, happy, warm, like a nice warm hug from grandma type of feel to it. And if you drop that sharp down to an F and you give it that minor key to it, it totally changes everything. And a lot of horror movie soundtracks back in the early days, and horror music would use it was a D minor type of chord that they would use for the subtleness, but they would drop it down to a really low hertz on the register, so you could hear it, but your body more or less feels it gives you the roots.
A really low hertz on the register, does that mean you were an octave lower with the D?
Well, it means it's a lower frequency. So instead of hearing it so much up here, your body's going to feel it. And it gives you an easy
So that's
change.
not determined by on what scale the note is, it's something else.
Right. It's just the frequency of the note.
Okay.
So if you're playing, well, the scale would have a little bit of octave rating, but it's going to be so low of an octave. Your mic might be on the middle of the keyboard, if it's the octave like 15 times, and then that's it.
Right. So it is very low.
I built this guitar a while back.
I like the Bixby on the Telecaster. That's kind of a neat setup.
Well, what happened was I started out playing on a Stratocaster, and so I like the sound of a Stratocaster. I like what I'm able to do with it, and I like the look of it, but I just like the look of Telecaster a little bit better, because the look it's a lot more classic.
It's streamlined.
Yeah, it's a lot more, mainstream, and the fact that you see old pictures of so many people and they got a Telecaster because Stratocaster wasn't, came out yet. And before Buddy Guy, most rock players didn't even know that a Stratocaster could be used for that type of music.
That's one thing I'd like about Strat stuff. You can play metal, you can play hard rock, you can play blues, you can play funk, you can play all kinds of stuff on a Stratocaster. You can't do that with the Gibson, with the Les Paul. You can play hard rock or maybe some Chet Atkins type stuff. You can't really get a bluesy sound out of humbucker pickups, in my opinion. Now that should be different. I've had a lot of Jacksons and Ibanez guitars and stuff. Metal shred guitars, they're great for one sound, for metal. One thing I've liked about the Stratocaster is I can cover such a wide base of sounds with that 5-way switch. Now and Telecasters, I've seen Telecasters do a lot of things from hard rock to metal to Chet Atkins country to really, really bluesy, just crazy blues licks on these things. And they got a beautiful style. The reason I've never wanted one because I didn't have a whammy bar. I wanted a whammy bar, and I don't even use it much. It's just always that's what needed to be on a guitar. There's a whammy bar and a floating bridge, nice little tremolo like that. And then I play a couple of Telecasters over the past probably 5 or 6 years. And now I want one, so it's just got such a classic sound. I don't find myself looking for the whammy bar. It seems to stay in tune a lot better than my Strat does every Telecaster that I play. I can play the snot out of it. It's get in tune. Stratocaster, I get in tune my G string every 2 songs. Whether the strings are new or not.
I mean, that was my main problem when I had this one, because I wanted to build a guitar. That was my main thing. Because I've loved to build instruments, do all sorts of different stuff. I wanted to build a guitar, but I didn't know what type I wanted. And I thought, well, I don't have a Telecaster, and they look kind of cool. So I got this one. I built this. I did all the wood staining and everything on it, and it's got this little flame top. It's sponsored maple, and not sure. I think this may also be like a maple neck, but I got this just because I like the look of it.
Yeah.
And originally it had a white pickup because I liked the kind of look, because that's the type that Muddy Waters should always play. He had the red Telecaster with the white pickup, and that was what he did all the time. I would always run into the problem of, I love playing blues songs, but especially when you get towards a lot of Stevie songs, you'd have like songs like Cold Shot, or even in like Pride and Joy. It was one of his most famous songs, but he'd go in the end and then we do that, and I couldn't do that with this, and it bugged me. So I was looking at Bixby's, and I got this, and I thought, I won't be able to go as crazy low as I would with a Stratocaster, but it gives me just so much more range of what I'm able to do, and I like that. So,
What gauge of strings do you use?
I don't like to go too thin, because if I go too thin, like 9s or 8s,
Right.
then I feel like it's moving too much from the play, and I feel like it's got too much of a bend. I like to be able to bend, but if I go too much, then I'll miss that mark, and it kind of messes it up.
Fair enough.
And I also don't feel like it's just as loud as I want it to be,
Right.
because it's got that beefy tone, and that's mainly like another thing with Stevie Ray Vaughan. He was borderline bass strings.
He's a fence cable for
He would play, and they said that after his shows, they would have to super glue his fingertips back on.
Oh, yeah.
And his manager came up to him one day and said, "Hey, man, you got to do something about that." He said, "No." He said, "I can't change those strings, or it changes my sound. I need the tone."
Yeah. They use like 13 or something.
Oh, yeah, he used 13 gauge strings. Those
On the high E at 13?
You're low.
Oh, okay. Because the high E would be a 9? No.
Well, but usually if you go 9s, that's with the
Sneakers.
9s are small.
Yeah, yeah.
So it would be a 13 instead of
Instead of a 9. Yeah, it's yeah.
the strings I've been using on my Strat have been 10s and 9s hybrids, because
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. And,
Yeah, I like a hybrid sevens.
That's what I got.
Because I like some bottoms. I mean, I'm a bass player.
Yeah. Well,
You do Jimmy Reed.
I've just changed that. With string up straps. And I got 10 of that hybrid sets. So try to work some more callus and 10s and try to. I usually keep 10s on my. Usually 10s on the back of my hands. I don't know. I like the 10s. I like that tone and like when you throw just a bigger bottom and you can just like the 10s on top. But I like the hybrid sets. I didn't know that was a thing until this year. It's this year's old. And I found that out. Homer, Mr. Homer Johnson told me.
Yeah.
I've been doing that ever since.
I think I learned about music still maybe. I know I get to play more guitar in the winter because in the summer I do the festival. So I'm back on the guitar now. So,
Nice.
yeah. You got my National Steel out there. Bottom.
I love to play slide. It's my favorite thing.
Oh, it's easy, but it's just all in the touch.
It's very exact.
Oh yeah, you can be very wrong when there's no frets.
Right.
You know, because it's like, where is that note? Well, if you wiggle it a little, then it might cover the fact that you're a little sharp, a little flat, and on it at the same time. If you just go broad out.
You know, I thought I was a really good bass player at one point in time.
Oh, you are a good bass player.
I picked up a fretless bass.
Oh
And
no.
that was the most
Forget
humbling
it.
experience that
Forget
I ever
it.
had musically. You know?
I had it. I bought a stand-up bass, and I bought my Fender the same time. At the same time, I was out in California. I didn't know what would be the right bass for me, but I'll tell you, fretless. I learned real fast.
Yeah.
Takes really good pitch.
I tried to
Yeah.
play on some like upright bass and stuff.
Yeah.
I really bad.
Well, it's a whole different way of hearing, I think.
It is.
I have an upright. I did used to make reset on it, but just due to moves and the age of it going out. And I've played a couple of upright electric basses and stuff. And that's
Right.
another humbling experience.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, I'm not a bass player.
I do not have perfect pitch. Now, some people do, but hey, you know.
You played a fretless guitar yet?
I haven't played a fretless guitar. I've played plenty of like fretless bass, but
Yeah.
I haven't played a fretless guitar.
You ever
I'm
listen
really
to
scared to.
Guthrie Govan? Do you know who he is? He's I'd say it's kind of like Joe Satriani and Steve Vai of guitar. You know, it's late 2000s type of that style of guitar and whatnot. Mainly instrumental, but he plays a fretless guitar and it's an aluminum neck. And it sounds beautiful.
Oh, you must have put a lot of time into it.
Oh yeah.
The aluminum neck and fretless. I'd like to just even see that.
Well,
Neat stuff.
another thing is I know, especially with like fretless guitars, you see them, and they'll either be $300 or like $3,000.
Oh yeah.
And most of the time, they're $3,000.
Yeah.
You know, they're not
Yeah,
cheap.
if you're buying something like that, don't go cheap because you'll hate it.
And it's weird. You'd think, since these have to be so exact, that it would cost a little less money just to shave them off. But that's not always the case.
Not always.
You see, you're like me, getting back to what you were talking about earlier, because you started singing, and I did too. My mother used to call me her little songbird, because I sang all the time. You know. I'd be standing in the back seat, she'd be driving around, she'd say, "Okay, new song," and I'd be setting the table singing, "Summertime." She'd say, "Dinner is in 5 minutes, sing a fast song." But singing was what got me. And then when I heard the Rolling Stones, well, that wasn't, you know, turtle doves and picket fences, because that early pop music that was on the radio, to me, it was so corny before it sort of became culturally influenced and intermingled with the blues, which gave us such a wealth of music when we had that. To me, that's a renaissance, you know, and it happened here when, you know, all the Well, you know, the Scotch-Irish ballads and the bluegrass ballads and the Joan Baez and all of that, and then put that together with funk, you know, with Muddy Waters and Wolf, Holland Wolf. Well, then the blues people started changing chords more, and but the people that, you know, the music just had the capacity to tell sad stories and cry in pain and make beautiful music at the same time. And that was amazing thing to remember. When I was a little kid, I was walking around and I walked by my friend's house because, see, my father played classical all the time, opera. So I was walking by my friend's house, and it was, I found my thrill on the very hill, you know, the guy from the war, that's right, you know. And it was like, I had heard them say that rock and roll would be dead in 2 years. And I was about this big, and I heard that song, and I said, that music's too good to be dead in 2 years. I mean, I figured I was just a kid. You know, they were just trying to slow it down, you know.
Was
But
that
there was no
strong?
slowing it down. Yeah, that's true. Yes, that's right. Thank you for remembering.
I could picture him, and I could see him. I was trying to think.
Party man.
That was probably some of the first blues stuff I was listening to. But I always considered that, along with like Louis Armstrong and that same
Oh, yeah.
type of time. You know, it was blues, it was jazz, it was kind of pop at the same time. Blues
But they
and
didn't
rock
play
was
Louis
really
Armstrong
good.
on popular radio.
Really?
But Blueberry Hill did get through. Maybe they did sometimes. But mostly, we didn't get any blues. We didn't get any Memphis, and we didn't get any Chicago and Rhode Island. What we got was all the Motown. And then doo-wop from Jersey and Philly and New York.
Frankie Valli.
You know, those brothers at the top of the Ferris wheel, and all those guys. Yeah. Well, you never know how great a kiss can be. They're from New Jersey, a couple of brothers. And there was a lot of great music up there, and some of it was influenced by blues, but I hadn't heard any blues until the Rolling Stones. And I couldn't figure out, I have all their early albums. I know every word by heart. Played them every day.
They did great country too.
Yeah, yeah. Did you hear them sing one about Bob Wills?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might have shared that with you.
They sang that when I saw them in Hoimaha Stadium. And you know, for almost being 90, I can't remember, like Keith Richards was probably older. I don't know.
He's a survivor.
He's still alive. Him and Mick Jagger, right after having his heart surgery. He was.
Oh, I'll tell you the
Up and
secret
down
on
the
Mick
stage.
Jagger. Mick Jagger started running 6 miles a day when he turned 60 because he was having too much fun to slow down. But you know where he got it from? His dad was a gym teacher. So, and his dad lived to be 93 years old. So Mick got the health thing all the way, you know.
Good for him.
Well, here he's 80 and he's still at it. He's still having fun.
I hope I can still be there when.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
You're 16? That's, when I was 16, I had a guitar. And it sat, no, I couldn't play it. It sat in my closet.
Recordings.
My mom's brother was trying to teach me guitar at a little bit of a younger age, but he was in prog rock, Yes, Rush, stuff like that. So he was trying to teach me stuff that was way out of my knowledge. Even should have been able to.
It's too bad he wasn't a good teacher.
No, he was a great musician, but he wasn't a good
It's
teacher.
two different things.
And
So who have your teachers been?
yeah.
Because you did say you started self-taught and then you found a teacher.
So when I started out with music, I got the inspiration to play guitar, not from necessarily the music I've been doing, but from two things. The songs I would sing. Singing is one thing, but I hadn't discovered blues and jazz and all that yet, so I couldn't realize that, you could sing such a beautiful song without an instrument. So I was under the impression that I needed an instrument if I wanted to play and do my own stuff, And I'd go to my grandparents' house and I'd look at my grandpa and he'd be sitting in his recliner and he'd be playing his Stratocaster. And he'd playing songs like Sweet Home Alabama, Wagon Wheels, just be playing, and he always played by ear. So I remember he'd be always sitting there, he'd have his eyes closed, he was just playing, he'd miss a chord, and he'd peek down at his hand and move it up a fret or something. So that's mainly what got me started on guitar, because I told him one day when he was sitting there playing, I said, I think I want to learn. So he said, all right, get up. And he went up to the attic, pulled down a PVT 60, one of the old classic American-built sturdy ones, heavy guitar.
Right off the top of the building.
Yeah. It felt like I was picking up a chair every single time I had to play that thing. It was made of oak, solid bottom, and it was heavy. You know, you think you get shoulder pain from having a strap with this thing. Ooh.
You just try my Fender. Go ahead.
Well, I remember I started playing on that guitar, and he gave me books and stuff, and I started to learn off of just like YouTube videos and stuff, and Marty Music, that type of stuff. That's what I could say. But Mom, one day, was looking around for guitar lessons because she thought it was a really good idea, and I wasn't open to it at the time because I was under the impression that, no, I can do it on my own. I know what I'm doing. I had no clue. And so I start out, I get into what I'm doing, and all of a sudden, I'm doing my thing. And Mom signed me up with this guy named James Seals. He's a rock musician. He toured across the entire East Coast, but one of the things I loved is that I always learned fast. That's one of the things that he said I was pretty special of, is I would learn what I was doing really quick. And he said, you pick up on things a lot faster than some other people I've seen. But one of the things I loved to do with James is he had that blues influence too. And so whenever I'd play, like, I'd say, I want to play blues and stuff. I still remember the first ever blues song I wrote. It was during COVID. I had a broken hand, but my thumb could still move, so I could still play guitar. As that was my outlook on it. I remember I was doing what I was doing. I wrote this little riff, and I went off of it because it was in the key of D. This is the first ever blues song I ever wrote. I called it Copperhead Blues at first, but now it's called Lovesick Blues. Simple like that, but it was when I was first getting into blues and jazz music, and it felt right.
You do a lot of finger picking. Yeah. See, I'm new to the thing. I used to pick most of my life, except when I played bass. I never used to pick until recently. And now I just play with the pick. I'll use these three fingers, but usually just as a secondary brush across the strings. I can't do the stuff that I want to. It's mainly because I want to practice and do it. So that's some other stuff. I got friends in Colorado who are like Chet Atkins and stuff, the way they pick. It blows my mind.
I look at all those old videos, and I'd sit down on the porch, I'd be talking with my grandpa, and I'd say, like, old musicians that he listened to. He always listened to, like, Chet Atkins and Jerry Reed, Roy Clark. And Jerry Reed, I think, is just a genius, too. Well, if he'd play guitar, you'd think it was three people. Because he'd get the bass line,
Oh, yeah.
And then on top of bass lines, he'd do the melody and he'd do the rhythm.
And some of those Mississippi Delta pickers do that too, like Mississippi John Brown. Yeah.
And I think,
That's
especially
what
when...
Jim was doing.
Oh,
I'm going to give you the secret. Yeah.
I think what's a big shame today, especially when it comes to like the Rolling Stones and a bunch of different people, is people don't look at that type of music and realize the influence the blues had on it.
Oh no, they think those guys invented it. That's why I think Eric Clapton did an album called Riding with the King, picture of him and B.B. King on the front. And then he did one, me and Mr. Johnson, with Robert Johnson's picture on the front. Because he realized that people thought that was all Eric Clapton's music, and he wanted to set the record straight. And I'm proud of Eric for doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like even Mike, he still thinks a lot of things that, Pink Floyd or somebody's music, he doesn't realize it's all the Isley Brothers and all the way back. And that happens. But the music is staying alive. That's, kids can figure that out.
It was like Pink Floyd was named after Pink Anderson, Floyd Council.
I don't know, I might have the wrong band, but it's one of those rock bands. I think it's Pink Floyd that did some blues. One of them even got sued for doing blues and not giving them credit. And everybody thinks they wrote the song, but actually it's, one of those old timers, blues guys, Yeah.
I love just like the history, especially when you see these old bands and stuff, and like you said, when everybody thinks they invent it. And
That's the marketing
it is. I mean, and you have people, and I think it's funny when you have people going up and saying, "Oh man, I like your style," and stuff, and a guy looks at him and says, "That's not my style. I'm just portraying what I heard from somebody else." And that was the big thing, especially when it comes to like Robert Johnson. There were so many people influenced by Robert Johnson that nobody to this day really knows as much about him as they should.
Well, he didn't get old. And a lot of that was not recorded. There are only about 5 pictures of Robert Johnson. And he was very shy. That picture of him in the next room with the door shut facing the corner, that was during that recording session, was because that way they could get him to relax. But he traveled a lot. And I really do think that Crossroads story is a bunch of hogwash. And I think a lot of old blues players would tell you, it's good marketing, but see, he traveled a lot. And so then he came back one day and he was so much better, that story could fly, that he got it out there from the devil at the crossroads. You know what I'm saying? But in fact, if you travel and you're moving around, you're going to learn fast. And I do think that that's, and then, don't get me started on that one. But anyway, who calls what kind of music what. But I'll tell you what my husband would say. Since he built the stage and he built the dance floor, we could talk about Dee for a minute. And he would say, you can't have music without harmony. And harmony is getting close to God. That doesn't mean any other kind of music has more of a hosing on spirituality of music than blues. Blues is right in there too. Yeah. And it's a healing music. And it brings people together. And if you're ready to deal with your issues, guess what? You can get past them and move on and have a better life. So to me, blues is like, I just love blues. That minor note, that's one got me, Anything with a minor note, I was right there even as a little girl. I was in Catholic school and we had Glee Club. And the nuns taught me the song called The Birth of the Blues. And the nuns taught me Summertime. So the Catholics, they kind of usurp the local culture and they don't divorce you from your own popular culture. They kind of work it. That's why the Catholic Church is so different in Norway than it is in Mexico, because it absorbs the Lady Guadalupe and all that. That's a Mexican image, not certainly Catholics in Northern Europe. So I'm not saying that 8 years of Catholic school, I got A's in religion the whole time. I'm not particularly a churchgoer, but I pray all the time. And I know I really do. But I think blues is spiritual to me. Some people can say I'm.
We were talking about
I believe that.
music and how it makes you feel. We were at the Dust Till Dawn, not Dust Till Dawn, we had Rock Weekend. Yes.
And was that yesterday in
Yes,
Stigler?
Friday and Saturday.
I saw some of that on your Facebook page. It looked good.
And the great bands. There was Red Dirt, there was rock and roll, there was real hard rock. It was just kind of a mixture of a whole bunch of stuff. And but how music, when you hear music, depending on the style of music it is, it'll change your how you feel inside. You know, some of the hard metal rock, which I like a lot of that too. Sometimes it'll make me feel great and energetic, and sometimes it makes me feel really angry. And sometimes, you know, blues music will make me feel really happy and good, make me want to dance, and country music will make me want to cry.
Drink your beer and cry.
Yeah.
They sing about those swinging doors a whole lot. They do. But you know what I used to tell the kids in the school, because I did a lot of blues in schools, and I'd say, you know, they think blues is slow, sad songs. Well, to me, blues is the best party music ever created. That's my opinion. And so I'd say to the kids, well, the feeling of being blue is a feeling of sadness, but blues music is about all the feelings, all. That's what I tell them. Hey, everybody, let's have some fun. I mean, you know, that's a blues. So, I don't know. So, isn't it amazing the range of expression and emotion and how diverse and rich the music is? And that's American music. That's one of our greatest exports to the world.
Oh, yeah.
They don't teach guitar in school, but I wish they did, because our popular music is all over the world. And our movies and our TV shows are playing 24/7 somewhere with subtitles around the world. One of our greatest exports is our entertainment. And the guitar is right in the middle of that. And so is soul music and blues and doo-wop and all of those different kinds, country western, you know, Bob Wills. It's all right there. And it's a lot to be proud of.
Are you working on a CD at this time, or an LP, or you got a list of songs?
Keep writing songs.
Yeah. I'm writing songs, just as many as I am able to get studio recorded. I want to get just a bunch of them, because I have a lot of songs written. I can get a bunch written, then I'm going to put them all on a CD and make it. Because that's my big goal, is I want to make an album, and I want to be able to promote it, and I want to be able to sell it.
You will. You will. I'll tell you a story about Roberta Flack, because we were thinking about doing her song about killing me softly or something. And I was thinking about her. When she got invited to her first deal, to a meeting to go to a song place where maybe she could get recorded, she showed up with a briefcase that had 100 songs in it. But you can get your little home recorder for not a lot of money. Or use your phone. Don't forget your phone, you know. And save all those ideas, you know. You are armed and dangerous. I mean, you know, you do have a recording right there, which back in the day, you know, you couldn't remember that riff 2 days later, you know. But now, I mean, and cassettes were kind of nothing like a cell phone.
Right.
We have the technology.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was talking to a lady the other day, she writes songs, she said, Selby, my phone is a mess. If anybody ever finds my phone, they're going to wonder what it is. And what she was talking about is all the pieces of those songs, little pieces of songs, that snippets. She needs to go back and develop, you know, what they're all in.
That's been the hardest part for me, writing music. I have a lot of music out there. Everything from hard rock to pop rock to blues, rock to EDM. You know, I did a lot of EDM.
Especially as a bass player. That'll get you around to different genres.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being able to play all different kinds of music, and I've lost so much of it, but I don't go around and I don't record it. I vaguely remember it. So I've been working on that thanks to Selby.
Yeah, because the hook will come to you in the middle of the night. Now, do you feel like getting up, turning on the light, and going and finding a band? No, you do not. But I'll tell you, you have to serve the music. The music, the way DC would say is this: if you serve them and honor the music by studying it and learning it and sharing it and maybe teaching it, you may not get what you want. But the music is like any other living thing. All living things want to stay alive, and you might not get. You know, it's the old song, you can't always get what you want, but if you try hard, sometimes you'll find you do get what you need to keep the music moving forward, because the music's a living thing, and you will get what you need. You know, and so, but the hook, when the hook comes, serving the music involves, you know, finding a way, because you're not going to remember the exact phrase the next morning. It's not going to be there. You know, like the hook hits you in the middle of the night, that was a gift, you know? And so you have to jump up, honor the gift, and serve it by writing it down. And then 6 months from now, you look at it and you go, yeah, well, that could be a song, you know? And songwriting is a very elusive process, I think, you know?
There'll be times I'm up, I'll write an entire song in just one go, and I'll be like, man, this is good. I need to get this down. And like, the Notes app on my phone has been a savior. I've written down so many good, like, songs, things in there.
I need to learn about the
helped me.
Notes app.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
It's helped me out a lot, but, you know, working with music and being able to do stuff and not forgetting things is my problem. And I want to say, with Buddy Guy, it reminds me of a story about Buddy Guy. I've been so many places with this guitar. You know, we were talking about Robert Johnson earlier. I've taken this guitar almost every single spot that he's had his photos taken.
Great.
This guitar's been with me. I played a Robert Johnson song next to Robert Johnson's grave in Greenwood, Mississippi.
That must have been a moving experience.
It was. I've
See,
been
I got
the
to do
house he died
Janis
in.
Joplin's song in 2 places that she did it in. I saw her do it in the rectory at the art school, and then we got hired years later to play the reunion, and I sang Piece of My Heart. That was heavy duty. And then I was out in California in North Beach, and she played at the Coffee Gallery, and I sang it in there too. And it was just a very moving experience. So I know what you're talking about. The pilgrimage, the quest. Yeah, it's an education, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, and there's so much that when you're able to learn about the music, not necessarily learn to play the music, but learn about the music, it helps you so much more than you can even realize. And I think one thing that's kind of cool is when it comes to like Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, all them, Woodstock was such a big cultural thing. There was a while back, I bought a little necklace, which is just like a little silver necklace, but inside it's got a piece of wood that's off of the Woodstock stage. And I love that necklace. If I could wear it every day, I would, but I'm too scared to lose it.
Listen, I knew about Woodstock when I was still living at home, and if I'd have gone to Woodstock, I would have gotten killed. Do you hear me? You know, it was like 6 or 8 hours away. I didn't even entertain the notion of actually going, but I heard about it before it happened. But that was a very, very big turning point, because they always told us, oh, there's so many of you baby boomers. We had to build new kindergartens. When you get old, we're going to have to build new nursing homes. And that didn't mean anything to us. And then the music pulled us all together. And when we saw how many of us there were that all felt the same way, love the music, peace, love, happiness, let's get along, let's try to make a better world, desegregation, the whole thing, right? Okay, women's rights, freedom. And we saw how many of us there were, and that was at that concert. That was a wake-up call for my generation. I really do believe that. It was like, okay, maybe if we get busy, we can make a difference, because there's certainly enough of us that feel the same way. And that was the music that was the aha moment. You know, so when I just saw all that music, I decided if music was ever going to be that important again, I didn't want to be standing cheering. I wanted to be playing it, and that's when I got motivated to not just love it and sing, but to play it. You know, that music was very important to our generation. Yeah.
Speaking of music, want to give us one of your originals?
Please do.
Please.
Back up.
I'll do this one. There's one song I wrote quite a while back called High Banker Blues. It's one thing I like to do. I like to play songs, and I like to listen to songs about gold mining. Because I've done a little bit of gold mining in my spare time. It's just so fun to me.
Where did you do that? In California?
No. They have this thing now called pay dirt. You buy a bag of dirt, and it's got little bits of gold in it.
Uh-huh.
They take it out of places that have gold.
Cool.
And then I'll dig through that and I'll find a little gold. I got a little vial at home that's got about $1,000.
Wow.
A high banker is this type of thing where you don't have to be in a creek necessarily getting all wet just to be able to find gold. It takes like a hose, takes the water out from the creek, and you can take the dirt from the land.
I've been up there with those gold mines out of my home diggings up in The Sierra Nevada, California.
Up in the Sidewalk in Colorado, and we were about 300 feet back.
I didn't go into mine.
And all we did, it was
DC did.
so terrifying. Because we went to the hand dug, tunnels through
Right,
the mine.
right.
And then there was the mine shaft. And it was not at a 90, but it was almost a 90-degree angle. And it was about the size of a pickup truck. And we dropped like bowling ball-sized rocks down there. And you'd wait like 45, almost a minute before you hear it hit the bottom. And it's pitch black in there if your light goes out. It was just terrifying. It was just like, no, I don't want to ever do it again.
I'm scared of heights, so
So you might be scared of depths too. Who
yeah,
knows?
I'm scared of heights. So
Well, you could do it standing in a river. You'd see them out in the Yuba River, you know, with a big pan, you know, panning for gold.
yeah,
So you don't necessarily have to.
drift lines.
Right.
As when I heard one guy talking about it, he's like, well, people say gold mining's easy, and they're just the people that do it in the streams. They don't do drift mines. Of course, drift mines, you know, they get more gold, but you also get more people killed.
Strip mines, is that what you said?
Drift mine.
Oh, drift mines.
That's where they dig down,
Uh-huh.
and then that's when they go in, they make all the mine shafts and everything. That's
Oh.
scary.
And they try to follow the vein.
Yeah, all of the thing. That's
Yeah, I've
the big-
been in a copper mine way down there, down in southern Arizona. They're like music gigs. A lot of good gigs.
I'll play this little
Yeah,
gold
let's
song.
hear your song.
Yeah. Let's get this one. Been messing with this one a little bit. Haven't had it fully perfected yet. I wrote it a while back, but I changed some of the song, how I play it, just to make it sound a little bit better to me. So, I'll try to do this. Oh, you're like gambling. 'Cause all I can do is lose. You're like gambling, baby. 'Cause all I can do is lose. I want you high and dry. Now I got dead blues. You never loved me, but I was too blind to see the clues. You never loved me, baby. I was too blind to see the clues. You only wanted background music, baby, someone to shine your shoes. I'm a high banker, looking for gold outside my creek. I'm a high banking baby, looking for gold outside my creek. Oh, I thought I struck rich with you, baby, but some gold you just shouldn't keep. Tears running, 'cause I lost my claim. Tears running, 'cause baby I lost my claim. Oh, you said you was in love with me, they called me another man's name. Oh, you've been gone for some time, and it just ain't been the same. You've been gone for some time from me, baby. It just ain't been the same. Your love is like a prison, and I'm wearing my ball and chain. I threw out my silver because I wanted some gold. I threw out all my silver, baby, just for some little bit of gold. I tried to go back, but all my silver done been sold. I lost my gold. What more could I lose? I lost my gold. Ooh, what more could I lose? All I got is an empty pan and that high banker blues.
I like those lyrics too, man. That's
I
nice.
like the way you sing. Look.
Great voice. You
Yeah.
want to do one more for us? We're about running out of time. And I'd like to hear another song. Yeah, you got a great voice. I like your playing style. You're going to go places, man. I hope. Yes. My parents always said, God, we're not always going places. Not college, we're just going somewhere.
That's what Deuce's grandma would say, this boy's gonna be somebody. You'd say, what's he gonna be, Louie? She said, I don't know, but he's gonna be somebody. That's the name of the book. I don't have any copies.
Did you sell them all?
Mama said, well, I need to buy some more, yeah, I need to buy this one.
It's good though.
But not this one, but the one that I wrote, I have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's everything I learned from someone who really knew how to run a band. From someone that really knew they did not know. So I wrote it all down. So I enjoy it. Your mom bought it and you just enjoy it. Let's give your mom a shout out.
Oh, yeah.
My mom's name is Julia.
She's a big help to you, isn't she? Right in the corner.
She seems like she's raising you right, man. You got a guitar in your hand, you got that on her shoulders and singing. You're going on the right track.
Is her daddy the one that would sit and play the guitar?
No, I'll be my dad's.
Oh, on the other side. Okay.
I know Mom always did a lot when she was in high school. She did a lot of bands. She played like violin, French horn, mellophone, trumpet, cornet. And my dad didn't do a whole lot, but he did choir and he played some trumpet when he was in school. And so did both of my grandpas. They played the trumpet too, so that's what I do in marching bands.
Yeah. We have a good teacher around here, Jim Davis, that's a trumpet player. Yeah. He brings the group out. Did you see that he brought the Warner group out here?
I saw that. I was talking with my band director about that the other day. He said, "Oh, I heard the Warner group was there." I said, "Yeah."
Hey, he used to bring the Shakota group, and he would have 12 saxes. I mean, he'd bring like the 7th grade, the 9th grade, and the 12th grade bands, whatever they were, all together, and let them all have that experience of coming out here and playing. And they'd bring a guest, you know, somebody in the family come to.
Get your band director and start exchanging information.
Yeah, see, we can get him over here maybe.
that's scary because my band director a lot of times still remind me of that one band director from the movie Whiplash.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be scary.
Well, Mr. Davis is strict. Well, he's real grumpy with the sixth graders, but he's not so grumpy with the juniors. They had it down to a fine art. But he could get music out of those kids, and they did like him.
Mr. Goodnight, he's very picky. He'll tell us when we do something wrong.
Yeah,
He
you
doesn't
have
waste
to
his
be
time.
encouraging and not
Yeah.
discouraging.
He is very encouraging.
Good.
Because when we do something wrong, he's rush and said, this is what we're doing. This
Yeah.
is what it's for.
Yeah.
And it's good because there's always that moment when it clicks and you hear it. And you're like,
Right.
That's it. That's
The
what
aha
we're doing.
moment. It's like,
Well-
oh, now I know what this is supposed to do. So,
I still keep in contact with my band director from Ropesville, Texas. His name is Jack Woody. And we were a six-man football team. And we got beat by everybody except for maybe one school if they were having a bad day. But our band director, Mr. Jack Woody, he was at Texas Tech for 20 years as their marching band director. Guess he got tired of the bureaucracy and all that and came to our tiny town. Took our marching band to state all the time. He was he'd let you know when you weren't doing it right. You didn't care, he'd let you know. But we did good. You know, we were a great marching band. Our football team was horrible.
go to the game to hear the music.
Yeah.
That's the one rule that our band director says when we play football games. He says, we are relentless supporters of our football team. He said, if they suck, don't worry. We know. Just don't say it. We,
Keep on the bright side.
Yeah. You gotta keep up. You gotta stay
Don't
happy.
bad rap people.
We're thankful to have a good team. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
That's always a plus. But
Partly because you're encouraging and you don't bad rap them. You know, that's part of it.
Mhm.
They're moral support.
Football's a big thing.
oh, it's a big thing for us too.
Big thing. All through the Midwest. It's we have this other song. I can't remember when. It wasn't too long ago. Just a couple months, I think, since I wrote this one. But, this is one of those that I was talking about. It's a minor key, so it makes it kind of feel something different. Because I was messing around with this. I was hearing one of my favorite blues players. Still goes around and still tours. I've had the pleasure of meeting him a handful of times. His name's Tap Ben Walker.
Oh, right.
He's from Louisiana. We talk after shows and whenever he goes through someplace in Arkansas or someplace in whenever he's in.
He's going to be in Tulsa in a couple of weeks.
So,
He's got good friends with him.
yeah,
I got friends with him.
we got some in Momsen. But we're talking. Tab has this one song that he plays this long, lonely bye. He does this shift. Now you're gone. Oh, long, lonely bye. But is that little shift from, because you have songs that go from B, A, and then you got the B, but he moved it up a step. It's just different, and I like it. So I was going to try something with that, and I came out with this song, and I like it. I'm going to try to record it whenever I can. So that's all sure. I wanna love you, even after you hurt me. I'm trying to show you my love, but you're too blind to see. thought my love was clear, but I got a clouded mind. You blew your smoke in my eyes. Now my love is blind. It's only you I wanna see. Now I'm feeling empty. Caused me pain. You didn't give the no of a man. Gonna rethink my life, start a new love plan. My love for you grew like a tree, 'cause I'm feeling empty. You chopped me down. You didn't care what I could be. Then I find another woman, and you can't stand to see me happy. You raging with jealousy that I wasn't feeling empty. My love was like a game. You didn't let me choose. Gambled my mind in love. Whoa, so you didn't have anything to lose. You lost your game with me. Now you're the one that's feeling empty.
Man, thank you for coming out to join us for the podcast. We greatly appreciate it. So, use this space and get us close to close to you. Thanks so much for that.
For sure, for sure.
Much appreciated. Man, I love your style. I love your voice is great. If you need people that have studios, we know people. We can just hook you up and get your voice out there. Anyway, basically, I'd like to have you back again someday too. I'd really like to jam with you.
Come to you too, what's that today? We're about to start the jam session every Sunday, 12 years running, 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, so just whenever, huh?
Well, 5 at least till 9 or 10. 12 years, it's become a community, and people come and get to know each other and meet some new musicians they might want to hire in your group, and So it all helps and it's all good. And I like the podcast helping us get the word out. It's very great.
Yeah, thanks.
To you and to Joseph too.
Big shout out to Mr. Homer Johnson. Happy birthday, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
He's been here every week.
thank you, everybody.
Every week.
Every week for how long?
12 years I've been doing it.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Keeps me
Bravo.
going.
Keeping the blues alive.
That's it. One note at a time.
Yeah.
We're trying. Well, we love you. Thanks for coming out, man. It was much pleasure. Love you, everybody. Take care. We'll talk to you soon. Check us out on BleuMondaze. Come down to the Oklahoma Blues Hall of Fame on Sunday and jam with us. We'll talk to you soon. Stay blessed, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.